and mention us on. You can follow us on Twitter at Radio Free Ready, Facebook on Radio Free Radford, and Radio Free Radford as well on Instagram. You can get the latest weather. Show upcomings here on RadioFreeRadford.com, and for weather you can follow RUWeather1 on Instagram and Twitter also. Alrighty, now to the weather. We're getting things going here this morning. We're going to get up to about high near 78 degrees today. We may barely stay in the mid-70s with most of this cloud cover sticking around as well, and we're going to continue to keep a close eye on the few storms this afternoon also, so be on the lookout for a few passing showers and storms later this afternoon. More clouds and anything else will then filter in with a low of 67. Winds will remain on the light and variable side also. Now, a lot of people are continuing to talk of Hurricane Florence. If you've looked at the track from the National Hurricane Center yesterday, it was showing it was going to come right across Radford and give us a lot of heavy rain. Now, things have tremendously changed as of last night. It's still a Category 4 storm, winds about 130 miles an hour. It's going to continue to maintain that Category 4 strength until about Friday morning when it makes land. It will turn to a Category 3 storm, and then it'll turn to a Cat 2 Saturday afternoon once it reaches landfall between Wilmington and parts of South Carolina. Our effects from Florence are still going to be high out there because we are going to get, no matter what, it's going to rain. And computer models are now spitting out between as much as 4 to 8 inches. And I told you on Monday that we were going to be talking about close to 15 to 20 inches. But that has now all changed because of the shift. It's now moving a little bit further south as it's continuing that track. And that's good news because we really don't need to see no catastrophic flooding as much rain. We've already seen so far a lot of rain, as you may recall, over the past couple of weeks here. And a lot of folks are not looking forward to any more rainfall. I think we've had enough personally, but, I'm just in promotion, not production. So I can only tell you what I'm forecasting out there for you. And we're going to continue to see the strengthening of this hurricane make full force as it does make landfall parts of Friday and Saturday in the Carolinas, and then it will come up somewhat our way. Probably we'll see most of the effects. It looks like to be now, forecast models are showing between late Friday and Saturday, and so this will be a weekend event now. As I was telling you earlier in the week, it would have been a late week event. Now it's showing more signs of a weekend event around here. Again, 4 to 8 inches seems to be the popular ranging numbers around here. I know the National Hurricane Center, they, again, are a busy set of folks who are going out in these hurricanes. They send these pilots out there in these planes, and they go around and check out the center of this eye of this hurricane, and they fly around to see what could be impactful for wherever it's going. In this case, it's coming towards the southeast and mid-Atlantic coast, as well as far south as now Georgia. Georgia's in some little bit of a rain event, but again, Wilmington and those areas far south, of course, they are in for a heart of a lot of rainfall. The Hurricane Prediction Center put this out about on their 8 a.m. update, as much as 15 to 20 inches for them. So we're talking for Wilmington and south of Greensboro, south and east of Greensboro, we could possibly pick up as much as 10 to 20 inches. So we have a little bit of 1 foot to almost 2 feet of rain in some parts of the south of North Carolina and southern North Carolina and northern South Carolina. That's what I was trying to get to. And of course, a lot of mandate evacuations have been in play, as their states are also under state of emergencies too. And but just something we haven't seen in quite a while, and it brings the excitement to a lot of people because it gives something to talk about compared to if we were getting a massive snowstorm. Same thing, but a lot of our snows, they do come from the south, And a lot of people, we get a good snow from the south. We normally get a good snowfall, but here we are in the mountains. We get these clippers that come through out of the west and give a little light dusting or two. But anyway, so that's just a little bit of a taste of how winter runs around here as well. But anyway, just continue to keep a close eye on that. From my understanding, I was informed yesterday that Target and Walmart did not have any more cases of water. And I made a quick run to Food Line right up the street here, and I was able to they had just put, I think it looked like they had just, I'm not 100% sure about this, but they had just put a whole row of cases of water they had just put in, and there was still some left. And that was at Food Line, and I'm sure there's still some left this morning, but I'm not 100% sure how much is left. But again, that was yesterday, late afternoon or so. I was getting a little bit of stock up just in case. But, thankfully the storm is starting to track further south, and that's good news because we really don't need to see any more flooding. But, 4 to 8 inches is possible. Power outages are also a possibility. I know a lot of people don't like hearing those two words together, power outages. And because with the ground being so saturated as it is, it does not take much for these trees to come uproot and collapse over and create a disaster that we don't want to see. And so just keep a close eye on that, and be sure to follow RUWeather1 on Instagram and Twitter for weather information. And while you're out that, I would advise you to go check out RadioFreeRadford.com. As you're listening to it right now, we've got a lot of the great hits. A lot of you all enjoyed listening to. You can head over there. Follow us on Radio Free Radio on Twitter, Radio Free Radford on Instagram and Facebook. Like us, tweet us, hashtag us. You all know the routine of social media. I don't have to go through that list. But anyway, so that's been basically the main top weather story over the last week or so. We're also keeping a close eye on Hurricane Helene and Isaac. Hurricane Isaac is expected to maintain to the south of Puerto Rico in those areas. So out of the, not affecting this general area, but affecting parts of the southern part of the United States. Hurricane Helene is just going to stay way, way, way out of the United States territories. It's expected to make a U-turn up north and go formed off the coast of Africa and go up north that way towards northern part of the hemisphere and stay out of the United States territory, which is good news for us. There is also another tropical development system. The National Hurricane Center has been closely monitoring this one. Excuse me. This is forming near Texas, Louisiana, and the southeast Gulf Coast states again. So something to keep a close eye on. And there's also some other significant development in the middle of the Atlantic basin. So like I said yesterday, this is hurricane season. It's peak season. That's what I was trying to say. Peak season it is between now and about mid-October. After mid-October to about November, things slowly start to die down as we are wrapping up the season. And that's good news because we can start seeing a slowly progression of hurricanes and tropical development. And you're also wondering, can hurricanes form in the winter too? Yes, that's happened that's actually, it's pretty rare that occurs, but it has happened in the past that we have had hurricanes and tropical storms and depressions in the month of December. But they normally don't pose a threat to any of the U.S. because by that point in time, the ocean waters are starting to cool off and give a wide variety of get that snow and cooler environment going in the ocean and everything like that. So anyway, alrighty, today's schedule here on the show, coming up at 12 today, we'll have Brandon Moore from 12 to 12:30, and we're very excited to have our newest person here on Radio Free Radford, Summer Speech. She'll be coming in from 4:30 to 5 p.m. today here on RadioFreeRadford.com. And again, if you have the voice for it and you're interested in radio, talk to any of us here at Radio Free Radford. I know Tristan Ryans is he's the general manager of this station, and he'd be more than happy to have you if you do have the voice for radio, and good things are right there as well. And, of course, every morning, I tell you, I bring my almanac with me. And, of course, tomorrow I will not be on the air, but from 10 to 10:15. But I thought this was kind of interesting. Tomorrow is we all like the Hershey bars. I don't know who doesn't love a good Hershey bar, especially when you're making s'mores and the graham crackers and marshmallows. But actually, the chocolate co-founder of Milton Hershey was born in 1857. So we can thank that gentleman for producing some nice, fond Hershey bars. They have the almond Hershey bars. They've got the regular Hershey's, and when the great chocolate invention I think there is. It's been around for roughly 270 years, and that's good on his part as well. Coming up on the show tomorrow, you can have Josh Moore from 12 to 12:30. Allison Schneider, who we interviewed yesterday, will be on tomorrow. She'll have her single show on here from 1 to 1:30. Jesse Taylor will then come back on the air from 2 to 3, and then Ray Amato and Benjamin Dubuque will be on here from 3 to 4. And we're going to continue to keep a close eye, obviously, on what the weather conditions are holding for Friday. As if you saw on the Ryan's Report, Tristan put out a post saying that if it's the possibility of something does go wrong, that he will be live streaming at 2 from home. So you can catch him Friday at 2 for the Ryan's Report. Of course, last Friday was Club Fair, and so that sort of had a, reroute the schedule for him. So he's got a lot to talk about in sports as well. Maybe Noah Pinninger as well will be joining him. I'm not sure about that, but I know he's excited to get back on the air here in the studio very soon. And you're in for a great show, folks, for him coming up on Friday from 2 to 3 here on RadioFreeRadford.com. Alrighty, well, that's going to wrap up for me today on this dreary, cloudy Wednesday. Just keep the umbrella with you, as well as the rain jacket. Florence could, again, the track has shifted to further south. Could that change? Yes. No, a lot of people don't want to hear that, but yes, that could possibly change by as early as tomorrow morning. And, of course, Friday we'll have to wait and see what the projected path is then for our area, because if we do see the 4 to 8 inches expected, again, locally higher amounts, and once this hurricane does make landfall, it is projected to stall around and stick around for a few days. So we'll see more rain moving in after the weekend, and also following Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. We got to keep a close eye on that. Could result in some more flooding concerns and the possibility of more saturated situations. Remember, folks, when coming across a flooded road, turn around, don't drown. It is never a wise decision to cross a flooded road, and you never know how deep that water is, and especially how much debris could be under that. Of course, flooding in these water is the number one cause of deaths during the summer months, because driving through flooded roads is never a good idea. And we emphasize that because the safety of your sake, and of course if you do get stuck on a flooded road, you're also putting the emergency responders' lives, their lives are also at risk for saving you as well. And just never do it. It's never a wise decision to do. But anyway, that's my word of wise of the day here on this wonderful dreary Wednesday on the campus of Radford. Have a great day, folks. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Free Radford on Instagram and Facebook, and be sure to check out RU Weather 1 on Instagram and Twitter as well.